Hello, everyone. So we are Women in Computing. Next slide, please. So to give you a little introduction to our organization, we are folks who support the presence of women in the field of computing. And I will go over this later, but this doesn't just include computer science. It goes over cognitive science, data science, computer engineering, and so on. As for introductions, I'm Priyal and I'm the president.
I'm Lily and I'm secretary.
I'm Stravia and I'm the Public Relations Marketing Chair.
And I'm Sydney and I'm the Outreach Co-Chair.
Next slide. Our mission, as mentioned before, is to support the presence of women in different fields of computing. And we do this through multiple events like technical talks, workshops, social events, etc. And I will let Lily continue from here on. Next slide. And then ways to get involved. Yeah, next slide.
So every quarter we have around 2 to 3 GBMs where you can drop in and hear about future WiC events, as well as network and socialize with students and companies. Next slide, please. So every year WiC recruits a couple of interns who will have the opportunity to shadow board members. So interns can host their own events with guidance of the board, attend board meetings, and learn about the different roles in WiC. I did this last year and I had a lot of fun, and I think it's a great opportunity if you want to get involved with WiC. Next slide, please. So we also host a lot of talks and workshops. So we have companies that come in for tech talks where they may give us tips on resume building, bring current engineers to speak about their firsthand experiences, and we give you an opportunity to network with recruiters. Next slide, please.
So again, I'm Stravia, and so at WiC, we have project teams. So our technical development team organizes project teams, which are held over 10 weeks, and you're able to build projects with a small group of undergraduate students over those 10 weeks, and those can be like applications. So you don't need any experience to participate in these projects. And this summer, I was actually a mentor for WiC Summer Dev, which is a program where students were able to build these kinds of applications. We had lots of cool projects, from women's safety applications to roommate matching applications. So we can't wait to see you apply, and those applications will be on our social media. Next slide. Yeah. So besides just the technical side of WiC, WiC is really a community. So we have our mentor-mentee program, where an upperclassman student is paired with like a first year or underclassman, and you're able to ask them for advice about computer science, classes, interview prep, and just hang out with them. It can be really intimidating to talk to professors, so this is just a really great opportunity. We have the same thing in an industry mentorship program, where undergraduate students are paired with female engineers, and so you can ask them for even more advice about companies. Next slide, please. And lastly, for our social events here, in a virtual environment now, all of our socials are obviously going to be virtual, but we're still going to have things like maybe movie nights, paint nights, maybe even baking. Our board and our community is super welcoming and open, so we can't wait to see you there. And we'll even have inter-org socials with organizations like ACM and WiC. Sorry, and SWEES. So our first event is on October 4th. We're going to be having a virtual game night, and a lot of our board members will be there, so we can't wait to see you there. Next slide.
So every quarter, WiC hosts the Beginners Programming Competition, where students who have only taken lower division courses can compete by answering coding questions. So from personal experience, I really recommend this event. It's a lot of fun. The winners get prizes, and it's also a great way for our participants to practice technical interview questions because they are very similar to what you would see in an interview setting. Next slide.
30.
Another thing that we do is outreach. This year they've created the Empowerment and Development for Girls in Engineering, which is a mentorship program where we pair high school students with undergraduate engineering students at UC San Diego. So if you're interested in joining, you can join us as either a mentor or committee member. And other things that outreach does is Host Girls Day Out, and Shadow Day, where we invite high school students to come to campus and experience undergraduate life for a day. Next slide.
We can skip this. This is just a photo of our board. And then if you want to join our mailing list, you can scan that QR code, and we look forward to seeing you in our Zoom link. Thank you.